Hey guys, it's been a total of 2 minutes since I filmed the last video that you watched that was a Reels video. I still feel like poop, but I'm gonna make another video instead of playing Oblivion. I hope you're proud of me. Just kidding. I'm probably just gonna try to sleep after this. We're gonna read some Reddit, because I can do that. We can read, we can talk tea, I can give my unsolicited advice. We can do this. Also, you look fantastic today, unlike me. Am I the a-hole for not believing my husband when a woman showed up claiming she's pregnant with his baby? Oh... That sounds pretty bad. Let's read. This has been messing with my head for a week and I need to get it out. My husband went to his best friend's bachelor party about 2 months ago. It was out of town, guys only weekend type deal. I knew they'd been drinking and there'd probably be some women involved. He told me it was just strippers. Why is that normal? Can somebody explain to me why that's normal? We've been married 4 years and I've never had a reason not to trust him. Last week, this woman shows up at my work, not even at our house, my work. She asks if I'm married to him and then tells me she's pregnant and thinks the baby is his. Oh my God. Said she met him at a party that weekend, said he was drunk and they hooked up. She said she tried reaching him, but he ignored her, so she found me. She wasn't yelling or crazy or anything, just calm, like she'd made peace with whatever happened. She told me she's not looking for anything from me or him yet, just wants to make sure he knows, and asked if he'd be willing to take a test later on. I didn't even know what to say. I just stared at her. She gave me her number and left. Well, yeah, what? I mean, I like that she wasn't crazy about it or anything, but man, I don't even know how I'd act in this situation. Oh my God. That night I confronted him and he denied everything. Said he blacked out that night, but swears nothing like that happened. Said the guys hired dancers and there was some touching, but he didn't sleep with anyone. He swears it's not true, but if he blacked out, how would he even know? Ugh, messy. I told him he's going to take the test when the time comes. Absolutely. He agreed, but he's been acting like I betrayed him for even considering it could be true. Like I'm the one doing something wrong. You had a whole ass woman come to your work, pregnant, saying that it was your husband that this happened. Like, what's the incentive? My friends are split. Some think the whole thing sounds shady and she's probably trying to pin it on someone. Others say if she went to me instead of blowing it up on social or acting wild, maybe she's telling the truth. I'm trying to keep my head on straight, but I feel like I'm losing it. Would I be the asshole for not standing by him right now when he says he didn't do it? I don't know who to believe anymore. No, I mean, you have every right to question what the hell's going on, because that is not a normal situation by any means. And him saying he blacked out is also like, okay, so you don't even know what happened. Like, if you blacked out, that means you don't know what happened. So I think the test will hopefully clear things up, but also you still have the right to be like, you even touch like other people while we're together? We're done. You know? Yeah, I don't know. Let's see what the comments say. Prenatal paternity test. It's a simple blood draw. You can find out very quickly. Yep, exactly. No need to spiral. When there's a direct way to get answers, a prenatal test clears the air fast and takes the guesswork out of equation. Yeah, and you can't just pin it on someone when DNA testing will prove he is the father. That's the thing too, is that she's like, I would just like to get the test done. Like the other woman was saying that. So it's like a good chance he, you know, stuck her or whatever and stayed for a little too long. And I'm assuming she came to you because that happened, right? This sounds like someone who knows what he did and knows that there's a possibility he could be the father, but he's turning it back around on OP to try to make them feel guilty for even questioning him. It's called gaslighting. Yeah, it's quintessential gaslighting. You're better just I mean, get the test, whatever, but I would get out of there. Hopefully we get an update on that. But let me know what you think in the comments. Let's move on. Would I be the asshole if I kick my boyfriend's sister out of our house? Obligatory. This is a throwaway count. I don't really use Reddit that much, but don't want people I know finding this. I, 25 female, have been with my boyfriend, 27 male, for 3 years, and he moved in with me last year. Everything was going great until last Christmas when his parents announced that they were selling the family home and downsizing, but they wanted to go on one of those 6-month-long cruises around the world. Fine, whatever. They can do what they want, except they have a younger daughter, Emma, who is 18. Completely unbeknownst to me, my boyfriend had agreed to let Emma live with us until she moved away to uni. Love when partners volunteer for stuff and never discuss it with their partners. That's awesome. This led to a lot of fights between my boyfriend and I because I didn't want Emma living with us. Despite all of this, she moved in after the house sold in February. It has been hell. For starters, our house might have 3 bedrooms, but only one was used as a bedroom. One is my home, and the other one was a gym for me and my boyfriend. Emma turned the gym into her room, and now a lot of our equipment is in storage. I hate having Emma here as she's a total brat and doesn't contribute anything to the house. Here is just a small list of shit I have to deal with. I'm excited to read this, but also I feel bad. The second Emma turned 18, she was out with friends, coming back drunk at 3 a.m. and waking up my dogs as she clattered into our house, normally with an equally drunk friend. Oh, bad. For the first month of living with us, she would steal my stuff constantly. Skincare, hair care, perfume, clothes, anything. And now I have a lockable box for toiletries so she can't get to them. That's insane that you have to lock up your toiletries so she doesn't steal them. You can't just say, hey, don't steal my shit. Has lost 6 different sets of house keys. 6? Since moving in. And I've had the lock changed twice due to various issues. Refuses to do anything I ask her to do because she's, quote, busy. She doesn't have a job. How is she busy? Refuses to eat anything I cook and will demand we order takeaway instead. This is insane. I've asked her repeatedly for meal ideas, and even if I make that exact meal, she refuses to eat it as it doesn't taste right. She's an adult now. Where are these? I know the parents are on a cruise, but my God, did they just leave this chick? Like, you are the mother now. They left her for you to mother this person. What the The breaking point came last weekend when me, my boyfriend, and the dogs went away for the weekend. I was reluctant to leave Emma in the house by herself, but my boyfriend said it would be a great way for Emma to gain some independence before going to uni. Big mistake. We came back on Sunday evening to a trashed house and a hungover Emma asleep in her room. I had to get a professional cleaner in on Monday to tackle the worst of the mess after I spent half the night cleaning. Unacceptable, dude. I'm done. I want her out of the house. I thought I could deal with this until she moved away in September, but I can't. Especially now that she's been talking about putting her place on hold for a year so she can go traveling and use our house as a base. No, I want her gone out as ASAP. True, she has nowhere to go as her parents aren't back from their cruise until the end of August, but I don't care. I want her gone. Oh my God, why can't she stay in like their new house that I guess she'd be alone, but God. I've talked to my boyfriend about this and he won't budge because Emma is family and he can't kick her out. So would I be the asshole if I kick her out? Edit, forgot to mention this in the post. Maybe it wasn't clear. It's my house. I own it outright with no mortgage and my boyfriend is not on any official documents. Out. Both of them out. They're not respecting your space at all. The only thing in his name is our Sky TV payments. Everything else is in my name as I lived here before he moved in. He does pay half towards bills, but he just sends the money to me each month. I'm going to try to talk to Emma and my boyfriend's parents. I've sent them a text message asking to call me ASAP. I'm also reaching out to Emma and my boyfriend's older sister to see if she will take Emma in for a while. Okay, so there's an older sister. I doubt she will as they don't get along, and she has a 2-year-old, but it's worth a shot. Edit 2, I am such a goddamn idiot. Oh no. Ooh, it's like an update. Okay, well right now, it's your house. You can kick her out. That's totally fine. If the boyfriend has an issue with them, guess he has to go too. But let's see this little update. Firstly, thanks to all the comments, I've realized that my boyfriend is not the person I want to be spending the rest of my life with. There you go. Secondly, I managed to have a video call with my boyfriend's parents and wow, just wow. First of all, they have been sending Emma $700 a month to cover her living with us and I haven't seen a penny of it. Their mom mentioned that I could take the cleaner fee out of Emma's money and I asked what money she meant because Emma doesn't have a job. She laughed and said the $700 we send Emma each month to cover all her expenses while she lives with you. They've been sending Emma money and she was supposed to be giving this money to us to cover everything. Either Emma has been keeping it or she's been giving it to my boyfriend and he hasn't said a word. Both unacceptable. Surprisingly, her parents were furious. Okay, well, that's good that I haven't seen any of this money and they have been sending me bank transfer of $4,200 to cover the money Emma should have been giving us since February. Okay, well, at least the parents are stepping up and doing that. I think that's awesome. That's good. They're sending it to my personal account, then I can do it with what I see fit. I was brutally honest on the call and said that I can't have Emma staying with us any longer. Yes, she might leave in September, but what if she doesn't get the results she needs for uni and has to defer, or if she takes a gap year? I'm not putting up with this for another year. Their mom is going to talk to her sister and see if Emma can stay there until they get back at the end of August. For those wondering, yes, they have a house all lined up for when they return. They will not be living with us when they get it back. I'm going to have a serious talk with my boyfriend this evening, and I'm now rethinking our whole relationship. If he tries to fight over Emma staying, then it's over. A lot of comments in this post have made me realize that I've been a doormat to this man since Emma moved in. Also, that I should have been charging him rent, and I'm not standing for it anymore. It's sometimes you need that. Those second, third, fourth opinions, you know? And sometimes it's strangers on the internet. Sometimes strangers on the internet are stupid and they say dumb stuff, but honestly, I'm the stranger on the internet telling you that they absolutely should be paying, and he probably doesn't respect you as much, or he should be thinking about you just as much as he's thinking about his sister. You know, it's important that he cares about his family, but he also needs to care about the person he's living with in their home. You know, totally agree, not the asshole. If your boyfriend is siding with someone who disrespects you in your own home, that's a major red flag. Respect and support are non-negotiables in a relationship. If he can't stand up for you, maybe they both need to go. And of course, inviting family to come live with them for the summer at a house he doesn't even own. The nerve. Oh my God. Yeah, that's crazy. I'd be doing everything to make sure like that they were covering themselves or I was covering for them, or yeah, it's just like black and white to me. Not the asshole, it's your house. I would have kicked them both out the second I found out he said it was okay without ever talking to you. Yet also that, like, you didn't even know, which is a really bad start. 18 is old enough to know better. She also is not your problem. She is his problem. I would be seriously reconsidering this family and marriage long term, as boundaries don't seem to exist to begin with. At least the parents owned the daughter's shit, you know? That's the one thing I appreciate. But yeah, I'll just get out of there. Well, no, sorry. Kick them out of there. It's your house. Am I the a-hole for canceling the wedding because my fiance made a secret deal with my dad? I'm scared. But let's see. I, 28 female, was supposed to get married 2 months ago to my fiance, 30 male. We had been together for 5 years. He proposed during a vacation in Santorini, and it felt like the most perfect moment of my life. I truly believed I had found my person. Oh no. Okay, well, there's a lot of foreshadowing that they did not get married. Planning the wedding was stressful, but exciting. I come from a well-off family, and my dad had offered to pay for a large portion of it. Good for you. That's awesome. He has always been a bit controlling, especially when it comes to money. Ooh, never mind. He used to tell me growing up that I needed to protect myself financially, especially in a relationship. I thought it was just fatherly advice. Sometimes it bordered on paranoid, but I chalked it up to him having seen some ugly divorces in his line of work. He's a lawyer. Fair enough. It'll make you a bit cynical. 2 weeks before the wedding, my dad and I were having lunch and going over some final guest list stuff when he said something that completely blindsided me. I don't remember his exact words, but it was something like, "At least now I know he signed the prenup. Money well spent." I literally paused mid-bite. I asked him what he meant and he brushed it off at first. Then said he had offered my fiance a significant sum of money to sign a prenup he drafted months ago. No, not a mutual prenup. Not something we created together. Something he wrote up himself behind my back, and my fiance agreed to it. This is horrible. I went home that night and confronted my fiance. At first, he looked like a deer in headlights. Then he admitted it. Yes, my dad approached him with a prenup. Yes, he signed it. And yes, he accepted the money. His reasoning? He didn't want to stress me out. He said my dad was being intense and he just wanted to keep the peace. He claimed he was always planning to tell me eventually. He just didn't know how. So you're starting your relationship with a lie. You're starting it with just a lie. A massive one at that. That is absolutely insane. And the part that hurt the most wasn't even the prenup itself. Honestly, I understood the value of one, especially with the wealth imbalance between me and my fiance. I would have been totally fine discussing it openly. What broke me was the secrecy. The fact that 2 of the most important men in my life made a deal about my future without me. The fact that money was exchanged like my marriage was some business arrangement. I felt like I was being handled, not respected. I do not blame her. And, you know, whether you want a prenup and whether you mutually agree to a prenup or not is your business. I do not look down on people that do prenups. I think I'm a child of multiple divorces. So like, I get it. And yes, you plan to spend the rest of your life with that person. But some people are like, yeah, you are my person, but God forbid, just in case I want to get this because I've worked hard for what I have, then that. And then people that don't get it is totally fine too. I think both sides are totally fine, but both partners need to be involved in that mutually and consensually. It's crazy that that's even allowed. I called off the wedding the next day. Bold, but understandable. It wasn't a dramatic scene. I just told him I couldn't go into a marriage with that kind of breach of trust hanging over us. He begged me to reconsider. He said it was a stupid mistake, that he did it for me, that he didn't want to start our life together with conflict. He said we could rip up the prenup, but the damage was done. He made a life-altering financial decision about our marriage without even consulting me. And the only reason I found out was because my dad accidentally let it slip. I can't even imagine it. I hope the dad feels extremely guilty. And I hope the fiance feels extremely guilty too. He literally took a bribe from her father and left her out. Like it is truly, it absolutely can be unforgivable in my eyes. It could be forgivable. Like I feel like he's pretty irate and he's like, I just wanted to like get him off my back. But also you took money. So I don't know. It all feels extremely icky. I don't think the dad wanted her to marry this guy. He conveniently let it slip. Now he's playing the protective father. Could be the case too. But I don't know. I feel like he wouldn't go through all that legal stuff to just have him not marry her, I guess. I don't know. Or maybe he knew her feelings about her dad, knew he was controlling, and he did it to get the dad off his back and also to protect her from knowing her dad was being sneaky behind her back in the controlling way she acknowledged. Then dad let it slip because he didn't approve the dude's financial status, position, work, etc. Maybe they should have just paid it for themselves and avoided this. Yeah, there's a lot of like what ifs and maybes and all that kind of stuff, but at the end of the day, he took money from the father, signed the paper, didn't talk to her. That's your own fault. You know, consequences for your actions. Again, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Let's read one more. Am I the asshole for refusing to move out so that my roommate's boyfriend can move in? This is kind of like the other one, except it's not kicking out, it's moving out. Okay, let's see. My roommate and I split our lease 50-50 and currently month to month, as we have been living here for about a year and a half. Last week, she sat me down and told me that her and her boyfriend want to take the next step and move in together. As she was telling me about it, she told me I need to leave and find a new place to live. How convenient for them. I'm refusing to leave as I believe that the person who wants change is the person that should facilitate that, and that I should not have to uproot my life by finding a new place as well as spending the money to move in order to make that happen for her. I kind of agree. It's like if you guys want to move in together, you guys can just find a place of your own. Like, you can't just kick me out. She says she's entitled to stay because she made a garden in the backyard and does the majority of the yard work. Also, most of the furniture is hers. These are things I've taken into consideration, but ultimately decided I want to stay. I also made it clear I was okay with her staying and her boyfriend moving in since she already has the master bedroom, but they want to live alone without a roommate. It's them deciding that they want to move in together. So I feel like they should be taking the initiative to find their own place. They can't, I think it's kind of shitty to just be like, you need to find a new place to live. Because it's not like she's paying majority rent. Yeah, it might be her furniture. She can move her furniture. I don't know what the thing is. I don't know what the right answer is. The only roommates I've had are my siblings, like in a home. So I'm not sure. I don't know what the right answer is, but I feel like you're not the asshole. Contact ULL and update them on the ongoing situation so that your roommate doesn't submit a 30-day notice in your name behind your back. Ooh, is that, damn, that'd be so rude. Pay attention to this, OP. This situation happens more than you realize and you need to protect yourself. I believe you, but I'm horrified that there are people so awful that they would do this. Not the asshole, OP. They should have at least offered you compensation for aggregation and moving costs. True, but if you like the place, stand your ground. With all due respect, OP's roommate felt entitled enough to demand that they just move out so the BF could move in. I'm no Miss Cleo, nor have I ever worked for her. However, I can see pigs flying before the roommate offering any compensation. OP. Yeah, for sure. But also, depending on how petty she is going to be, you might want to make sure anything sentimental or valuable is away from her ability to get. I wouldn't put it past her to try and make your life living hell to force you to move out. Damn, Reddit always thinks the worst of people. And it's kind of funny. It is kind of funny. Not the asshole if she doesn't want to be roommates, she moves. Not the asshole, she's not more important than you. It is not her house to kick you out of. You have the same rights to the space. Sorry, I keep burping. If she wants you to move badly enough, she could offer to financially help practically to make it happen, assuming you were okay with that, and also give you your half of the security deposit back. Otherwise, she can move herself. Yeah, it's just like putting someone out in the worst way. Like just putting it on someone. Like, go find a place, you have to move. No helping. Just get out so I can be with my boyfriend. I don't give a fuck about yo. I don't like it. I don't think you're the asshole. Reddit helped me. Reddit solidified what I was thinking. I just wasn't sure because I've never actually lived with a roommate technically. Well, I guess I have because I've lived with my sister as a roommate. But I wish this would just never happen, you know? Just never happen. Damn, that sucks. Hopefully you stood your ground and they moved out. And you got her furniture. But who knows? Let me know what you think down below. I'm getting a violent migraine right now. I am going to lay down. So I will see you in the next one. Okay? Bye.